Well, I guess let's go ahead and jump in. We've got the regular stuff in the beginning, so people trickle in late. They won't miss anything too important, hopefully. Cool. Today's agenda. All right, we're going to talk about upcoming events as usual. We've got network governance updates. We're going to jump into some updates from the tokenomics working group, some new stuff from Moth Creative or the Growth DAO, Cosmos SDK, and the upgrade to CosmWasm. We have some new updates on that coming. And then Regen Foundation is with us and Regen Registry new updates as well. So yeah, very exciting full facet update on Regen Network. Community events upcoming. All right, it's our regular schedule. So we're doing Regenerati News Hour on the third Thursday of every month. So April, it's going to be the 18th, and that's always on our Twitter. The monthly community call, the event you're attending right now, that's always on the fourth Thursday of the month. So that's going to be the 25th of April. And then the tokenomics working group runs every Tuesday, dedicated at 8 a.m. On Pacific time. Yeah, every week. So, and you can always subscribe to our community calendar to stay updated on these and any changes that happen. Network governance updates. So not a lot happened in the last month, but some fun stuff. Actually, I saw Paul was on here. Paul, would you like to talk a little bit at all about your discussion that you posted? No worries if not. It looks like he posted an update about a workshop that he hosted at ETH Denver, and the presentation is on there. It's really cool. If you didn't get to make it to ETH Denver, you can go through that, and it was interesting, as well as Proposal 41 passed in governance, which I'm sure Tokenomics Working Group is going to be talking about because it seems like that was an initiative of theirs, but it passed with a 91.97 vote in favor. So, and then there was 8% abstain, so very pro this proposal. Cool. So let's go ahead and jump right into the tokenomics working group updates, Max.
Yeah, thanks so much. So few words on this proposal. The intention behind it was in connection to saving the liquidity because there was like a big outflow pressure on sales of the token, which also led to the price decrease. So we'll see the long-term effect of it. And the other update is there is the report on the first quarter results with metrics for all the token stuff. It connects with different stakeholder groups. There is all the mentions in Twitter for the token and various other metrics. So check it out. And out of this report comes also a proposal for raising money with something like a Regen cooperative bank. This is early stage, so please jump into the discussion and we can include more ideas into it. Thanks.
Cool, thank you, Max. Does anybody have any questions for him before we move on from this topic?
Do you mind just sharing a link to folks in this chat about the report and and if there's also a link in Commonwealth that you want people to discuss your community bank proposal, that'd be helpful too. Just so.
Sure, Boston.
Yeah, awesome, thanks.
Perfect. All right, next up, updates from Moth Creative. That is the initiative that Sarah Bax is working on, and I'm helping out as well. We have done a lot of work this year so far. One of the biggest projects we've been working on is updating DAO Guide, their guidebooks. So definitely the idea is once DAO launches, I think a lot of Regen Network community members will really benefit from this application, and we hope to see them utilize it. And so in order to help people use it easily and just onboard and manage their DAOs on DAO, we've taken the initiative to update all the guides and reorganize them in a way that'll make it really easy for people to parse and start a DAO and manage their DAO. So we're waiting on some approval from DAO to get everything published online, but the work is mostly done. We have the guides all set up with accompanying YouTube videos if reading guides isn't your thing. And yeah, we look forward to the launch of that product and hopefully seeing our community members use this in a way that's really beneficial for them. Yeah.
Add just a little bit to that.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, y'all. I'm in France. It's the evening time, but nice to see everyone's faces. I've also been working with Jake and Noah on DAO on some user interface design improvements to make it a bit more accessible in white mode to our nonprofit partners. So we're doing a little bit of design feedback that Sari is also going to contribute to as well. Just throwing it out there as an idea that we're aware that when we get to the point where people are onboarding, having guides and videos is very helpful. But the squad of us kind of working on this intersection are also really super happy to have from folks from the foundation or the registry team come to us, talk to us about any onboarding concerns, any folks you know that really will want to use this. And if we want to collaboratively create some kind of a learning experience or onboarding academy, we can do another kind of grant to a team of people from off to support making the process even easier than just using kind of the Gitbook guides and the YouTube. So we're just trying to make it really easy for folks to just know that we're here and filled with a lot of knowledge now, and really excited to kind of work with the rest of the community to get folks onboarded. So when the time is right, please let us know how we who know how to use the product are able to help everybody in the community who might be a user. So stay tuned.
Awesome, thank you very much. Cool. Some other work we've done recently is an update of Discord. It's new year, new Discord, I guess, for Regen Network. With this update, really what we had in mind was just making the Discord friendly for the level of management it has right now through Regen, and making sure that there's not a lot of space for spammers to spam, but really just spaces for community members to meet and discuss whatever is passionate or on their minds that day. So with that, we kind of pared down a lot of channels. We're down to just 3 major communication channels in the Regen Network general folder. We've got like the general chat where everybody hangs out. We've got tech support and learning still, but we got rid of our meme channel and our refi channel and our Regen radio channel, just these little side channels that were fun when we had full-time management, but are just a little bit maybe superfluous now with the level of activity that we're experiencing. With this new change, we also have a new Discord moderator, which is very exciting. So William Molia is going to be hanging out on Discord.
Hey, everybody. And yeah, nice to meet everyone. Or though some of you guys I've met before. Yeah, I also take care of the Discord servers for Gravity Bridge and Althea Networks. Althea is getting ready to go mainnet here pretty soon, just in the final very final test net. And so yeah, I kind of threw my hat in the ring to poke into the Regen Network. I did just a little fine tuning. It's looking very nice. Just to dial back the the potential vectors for the unrelenting scammers and spam community. But yeah, otherwise that's about it. I just keep an eye on it, poke in and out as the day passes. And anyway, yeah, that's me. You'll see me in there under Wilbo Bags. That's my moniker on the Regen server.
Great handle. That's amazing. I love that handle. Well, welcome. Well, we're super excited to have you in Discord. I know it's something you personally actually enjoy, which is always right person, right activity. So glad to have you on the team. I also, because I see we have some, registry community members like Howard and friends and Ed. Another thing we did with the channels that people from registry and foundation were using is we left messages in there that basically say, go to Hilo. So go find the community where it already is part of the way we restructured things. So we don't want to, you know, expect and ask teams to hang out in multiple different places with community members. We want to get them to where you're having your best conversations. Remember that we're trying to make Discord easier for everyone. If any of you have any other suggestions about changes you want to see, anything that wasn't implemented that doesn't feel right, just come find us and let us know what else you'd like to see or what can make it easier. If you have other resources you want us to pin, we're super excited to make the Discord easy for everyone. So just please feel free to reach out. Myself, Will, Sari, we're all here to make Discord great again together. And I see we have a question in the chat from Dave about, is there a Loom video about how to engage Regen on Hilo? If the registry or foundation teams have some sort of how to use Hilo intro or other resources that we can pin in those Discord channels, we would love to receive those things, make sure that the right materials are there for leading the communities where you want them. So please let us know how you want to customize that experience of landing in that channel and then also finding your way over to Hilo easily for your users. So maybe we'll take notes of the notes that you're adding here, Sari, about the Hilo join link and other things and just double check. If you have any suggestions, please also let us know in Slack if there's anything super specific that your server teams really want to see. These are your spaces. So this is about making sure people get where you want them to be.
And to answer Howard's question, he said, how do we know when to go to Discord and when to go to Hilo? I see Discord is more like the blockchain side of Regen Network, and Hilo is more the Science Registry Foundation side of Regen Network. So if you have like Regen Ledger questions or data structure questions, or if you, yeah, that would be more the Discord side of things.
Go back.
Paul, do you have a question or maybe, sorry.
Sounds like maybe he cut out or broke up.
And maybe just says speaker on didn't know. Okay, cool.
Real quick before we move on, this might be a good opportunity given Howard's question to let someone like Sam or Rebecca or Austin from the foundation, you know, share again where your conversations are happening on Hilo, why Hilo versus Discord, and where you really want to receive the community. So do any of you just want to just share a little bit about why those people are in that spaces? And, you know, that's part of why we're just sort of pointing people from Discord that might be newbies over to those areas to make sure that all your people are in the right spot.
Hop in. So Howard,
Hey.
I think if you have like curiosities about the ledger or about like technical things, Discord is a great place to pop in and to ask those questions. I think when it comes to methodology and credit class, like design, like project implementation, that kind of stuff is like Hilo is the space. So for instance, we've got like the Eco Credit Builder Lab, like the recordings and everything have been posted around an event there, and there's some like chatter around that. So like registry and foundation centric things are happening in what is like a cleaner platform. And you'll also have some hot links on the side to get you to like the registry handbook or the newsletter sign up pretty easily from the main Hilo page. And you can always like ask questions and tag me or tag folks in the team in Hilo as well, because other people would probably benefit from, you know, hearing those answers to questions too.
Yeah, I mean, that said, like also like, I don't know, if you want to use Hilo for blockchain questions that are in the registry channel, like you can do that too. I think that there is just like some maybe mutual feeling that, you know, Discord was a little bit too noisy for some folks, so we decided to try Hilo. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So one last update from the Moth Creative. We've got the Regen Network Ambassador Program that's going to be starting soon. That's a really exciting initiative that's coming from myself and Sarah Bax and Dave Fortson. The idea is just building Regen Network community. And so we're kind of gamifying it in some way, but also just yeah, sorry. Yeah, also just making it easy for our community members to not only participate in building Regen Network community, but also reap rewards from that participation and that effort that they make in making Regen Network a cooler place, a bigger community. So this is the this is our Zealy, which is what we're going to use for some of our stuff, at least for the lower level things. You can see like in level 1 different things like joining our high-low, you get Regen and XP for. You follow Regen Network on Twitter, different things like that. We've also got an introduction to Regen Network governance, so some quizzes and activities like creating a Kepler wallet or learning about staking Regen, learning about our governance process, visiting the forum, participating in discussions, that sort of thing. Receiving XP rewards, which allow you to level up to a level 2 community ambassador. And then as a level 2 community ambassador, you can do things like write a Regen Network blog or create a video tutorial. And these have rewards that are paid out in Regen. So yeah, it's very exciting. Coming soon, hopefully. Did you have anything you wanted to add?
Yeah, so we're in the technical setup phase for this. We chose categories that felt universal and very simple. So note to friends, registry and R&D for the marketplace app and foundation for CSDAO. Anybody who wants to create a quest or a series of activities for your constituents, let's do it. We can add it here. The Regen rewards are coming from a portion of the Regen that was gifted from R&D on behalf of community use to Moth Creative. So we're using some of that Regen to try to get the Regen out into the hands of community members. Our hope is we can kind of like gather some new people, teach some people some things with the quest, but we also have a lot of really great allies who are, longstandingly steeped in the network and haven't necessarily had an avenue to write a blog or design their own podcast or make their own video tutorial or whatever else they might come up with. So if anyone has names of people that you feel are like Regen superstars that we would want to activate, Sarah, Dave, and I, before we launch this, are meeting next week, trying to come up with a list of people that we think are going to be like super ambassadors, sort of friends of the family that we can invite in to be a first wave of cool creators with us that might have some of their own ideas about content that they want to produce. So we're trying to create a distributed content super machine, create a lot of lanes for people to co-create with us, create a lot of space for different voices, as well as have the capacity here for there to be rewards for when you're learning stuff about Regen. So if we have new CSDAO participants, maybe they can use some of these onboarding quests as a way of learning some of the basics. But this is really just a starting point, just like the Discord improvement process. We would love everyone's ideas. We've tried to keep it kind of simple to try it out and see how this goes. And then ultimately, we'd love to allow other folks across the network to make their own levels or their own quests for their own program areas, and make sure that we're kind of making it really fun for everyone to be a part of Regen and really exciting and give people the opportunity of the ability to be receiving Regen awards for having agency over their own creativity. So this is really a good foundation. We will let folks know when this is live. And we'll be administering this. So if anyone wants to partner on creating more activity sections or more opportunities, we're super down to hear what all of your ideas are. So this will change over time. That's the whole idea. Get started and see where we go. So I hope it's fun. That's kind of my goal, to make it fun. So be sure to tell us if you have an ambassador that you really want to promote. So let us know, folks.
Here is a link, how to request a link to that page. This will allow you to view it as a guest. The Zealy.
Yeah, and it's not fully live yet. It'll be live hopefully in the next 2 weeks. We just want to make sure that we're communicating it effectively. We have a bunch of people that are already ready to use the ambassador program and kind of come out of the gate looking like we're having fun together. So if you want to write another blog, Howard, you know, this time we could send you some regen for your sweet blog skills. So invitation open.
Awesome.
I think that's really it for us for Math Creative. Are there any like questions on these things? We'll have more in the next couple of calls about the stuff that we're up to. But I want to be conscious of time. We've got other content to get through here today.
All right, cool. Well, if that's it, let us go forth. Cosmosm and Cosmos SDK upgrade.
Yeah, the quick and dirty is it's in progress. It's going slower than expected between Robert and Aaron. This is a list of the items that were mostly recently finished in the last week. I unfortunately, with the time zone difference, wasn't able to get a new timeline from Robert and Giancarlo about when the first phase will be through auditing. So I apologize for not having that info today. But we're making progress. It's still slower than we wanted. But we are still marching forward to having the upgrade, being able to adopt WASM, and then being able to move forward with the remainder of the upgrade process. So I'll keep adding updates to the Commonwealth where the original proposal and RFP are as I get updates from the implementation team, and I will continue to try to stay on top of folks moving this forward. So yeah, does anyone have any questions? I apologize, there's just not more information available about this right now. Okay, maybe next then.
Thanks for tracking that, Sarah.
Yeah, I will keep tracking it. I have committed to tracking it on all of our behalf, and anything I get, I will internally, you can see it, I think, in the Regen Ledger channel with Aaron, Robert, and Giancarlo. I'll make posts in Commonwealth and keep letting y'all know what's going on every time we meet here. So we will get it done. That I'm determined for that. All right, Foundation.
Hi, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, so active first quarter and past month or so over at the Foundation. In the past 4 weeks, but really over the entire quarter, we've sent out 5 more endowment transfers. And I can paste the links into the chat in case for those who don't have access, but we wrote an introduction like for each one of the new CSDAO cohort members in this third round. Yes, you can get to know them. Many of them are more familiar contributors and like anchor participants in the ecosystem. So it's exciting to be able to get the tokens in their hands. And a fair amount of that involved like shipping ledgers to different continents and trying to get actual ledgers through customs and things like that. And the sort of nitty-gritty practical stuff of really getting tokens into different stakeholders' hands is exciting and complicated. But we have a better system, which is exciting. Yeah, so shout out to the incredibly positive and well-attended regeneration event at ETH Denver. The Foundation, I gave a presentation on behalf of the Foundation, but Sam and Gregory and Dave's presentations are just awesome too. We posted the talk that I gave on YouTube on the Foundation's YouTube channel, so you can check that out if you're interested. Yeah, April's an exciting time. In addition, prior to the Foundation participating in some parts of the larger region retreat, we'll be participating in the Codex gathering at Stanford and the Earth Commons / Funding the Commons at the Brower Center in Berkeley, California, with R&D friends too. So that's great. And I think there's more information about this in the registry slides, so I'll just keep it concise. But we had the first EcoCredit Builders Lab, which was super well attended and like very high momentum and really exciting. I think that as a format to directly engage our stakeholders and builders is incredibly effective. And I walked away from that feeling really inspired and excited by both our stakeholders and by the internal region staff and employees, like everybody showing up. I thought that was awesome. You can go to the next slide. Yeah, a long time in the works, but the collaboration between the Foundation and the Earth Law Center on this paper related to regenerative economics and the rights of nature, which is currently called Ecological Institutions, is going to launch on Tuesday next week. So that's been more than a year in the making, and we're really excited to get that out and circulate it. So check that out if you're interested in it. We have a number of existing CS DAOs that are already playing with testing out different functionality on DAO according to their context. Choco Andino DAO, which is based in Colombia, Chatafisha is in Tanzania, or this is in Turkey, that are moving over and testing out different governance practices, retroactive compensation, funding allocation, and stuff like that using DAO. So those DAOs will be ported over to Regen Ledger once Regen is live, but we're like not wasting any time to get involved, which is really exciting. And then lastly, the foundation's been meeting with R&D and external stakeholders and also internally to talk about Regen Constitution and to take inspiration from some of our colleagues in the Cosmos ecosystem and the larger momentum and opportunity there is to define a constitution and like, what is a constitution's role in a decentralized protocol like Regen? What do they do? Why to have them? How does that help allow there to be more clear systems of scope and accountability? And what are the different like actors or sort of departments one might refer to that comprise a constitution? And so we'll be discussing this in like a workshop format in mid-April with the rest of Regen, as well as like a sort of an open Commonwealth discussion, inviting engagement and sort of feedback around the topic. Yeah, that's all I've got. Nice to see you all. Looking forward to the months ahead.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Regen Registry.
Yeah, I'll pop in and then others feel free to add in some color. Things are really popping. I just gotta say, like things that we've been working on for a really long time are like the fruits are coming to bear, and it feels really like an exciting moment. So the first set of things is around the projects that were released like through the ETH Denver launch, these like pre-finance projects. So there are two. They're both biodiversity projects, and they're both using the ERA Brazil protocol, the biodiversity stewardship credit methodology. They're both focused on jaguar species, and it is just a really beautiful reflection of a lot of care and partnerships, and most importantly of work on the ground by Indigenous communities and others for a very long time. So the project pages, please check them out, and you'll see within those kind of the difference between them. One being focused also alongside the kind of jaguar conservation and preservation of habitat, also on ancestral practices and traditions. So in preserving a habitat area, this is also the ancestral land of a Federation of Indigenous Communities. So these projects are doing more than just conserving habitat. They're really like conserving culture and Indigenous practice and wisdom. So they're really beautiful projects. Feel free to dig around in both of those. We have been working on two issuances that are coming out. One is a nice pot of carbon credits from a project in the UK. It's a regenerative cropping project. And this has been a really interesting methodology to see evolve. And now to have the project live and with credits coming out is just really exciting. So kudos to everyone who's been working on that. The other is a project that, thanks for those links, Sam. Another is a project kind of along this biodiversity momentum that we have from the group Terrazos, and it's a biodiversity conservation and preservation project, and the first of many. So we're seeing obviously like a lot of really the utility of our process and our platform and resonance around biodiversity. And I think we as a team are just particularly excited about those. Next slide. Does anyone else have anything to add to that?
I just want to add something because I happened to do the YouTube uploads. I assume it's ERA Brazil related, but there were some jaguar videos that
like camera trap footage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so beautiful to see. It really makes things quite real. Yeah, and I mean they have been working on this methodology for a long time. So it's a really great moment for them to bring their project to bear, you know, and to have that camera trap footage really showcase, like, it's one piece of a really well conceived methodology. But yeah, it's like you just see it and you know, and then all of a sudden for buyers, you know, like a lot would click into place. Yeah, the beauty of camera trap footage for sure.
It's very cute. You guys should check it out. It's on our YouTube.
Yeah. Cool. Next slide. Yeah. I really like this slide because I feel like it's like deep internal and deep external work. It's like the ends of our team. So the first being a lot of deep work around our process. And even though like legal isn't always sexy, it's really exciting to have clear and really usable templatized contracts for our partners. It helps just make things more efficient. It outlines roles far more clearly. So we're really excited to be moving forward with those agreements and really grateful for everyone's work on it in a big way. The second, which again might not feel too sexy to folks, but is very exciting, is that we have a new handbook chapter coming up soon that is far more detailed and specific around the project registration process. It's kind of this like really fundamental moment for folks coming in with a methodology off the shelf or with one that they've developed, and its goal is to really like walk someone through exactly what to submit, when, where, how, who's responsible for what, like what to expect, what are kind of the requirements involved. So looking forward to getting that out, and would love community feedback when that's live in our handbook. Yeah, the last thing is what Austin was sharing, which is our first EcoCredit Builder Lab. Very excited to see the idea that we had really resonate with so many folks in the community that are actively working on developing eco credits and have real needs. And if they want to produce these credits, then we've got to kind of solve for those needs and challenges as a group. And then wearing a software hat, wearing a registry process hat, wearing a foundation hat. There are just a lot of different ways that we can collectively solve for those blockers and challenges. And I also agree, it was awesome to see not just the EcoCredit developers, but our team show up in support, and knowing that it's going to take everybody's ideas and awareness to make things move, as well as other community members that were there to learn, to see what was going on. There was really great chatter on LinkedIn and even on Hilo about this event. And it's really, I think the idea of it being a practical space for folks to come to be heard and get support, that's definitely the goal. And then I'll link in chat to the video recording. I also popped into the Hilo event about it, an AI meeting summary. So for folks that don't have time to dig through a video, feel free to dig into that. And the next one is going to be hitting on some of the key points that we that surfaced last time, like some of the key needs, like what's working, what's not working for EcoCredit developers. So excited to continue that momentum and support folks doing this challenging and significant work.
Awesome. Thank you. Cool. Product. Corey?
Hey. So yeah, a couple of short things to talk about on the product side, what we've been doing at the R&D, in the R&D internal team recently. So email logins and off-chain project page creation is being soft launched this week. So what that means is that Dave, our Chief Growth Officer, is reaching out to a number of our partners on the registry team and other community members to socialize and help get some initial usage of this feature. We're going to be following that up with a more loud and kind of public announcement and marketing launch. After that, we still have a handful of dev tasks that we wanted to wrap up for that marketing launch. So that's probably still another sprint or so out. And up next, we're going to be getting back to some work that we were doing earlier, or sorry, towards the end of last year on data posts for project pages, as well as starting to think more about Stripe purchases for on-chain credits. We already have some exciting designs that Erica, our lead designer, has been working on from that. And we're going to start rolling out some user tests to get feedback on those flows as well. And the last one here is permissioning and multi-user management for project pages. So right now, project pages can only be kind of controlled or owned by one user, one account. And we've been working on some designs for how to upgrade that such that, you know, I could be a Regen user with permissions to edit one project page, and I could invite other collaborators to manage that project page with me, while also having control over which users can perform certain kinds of on-chain actions on behalf of that project, which users have admin privileges, edit privileges, and if some users just have like view privileges to private data for the project. So that's all stuff that we're working on. Next update, hopefully we'll have some demos to showcase the progress on some of these, or maybe we'll start getting in the habit of walking through some design prototypes as well.
Awesome. Well, that is the end of scheduled programming. We didn't take a lot of pauses for questions. Does anybody have any questions about anything or any updates that they want to add from the community? Well, if that is truly, or Max,
Yeah, I was just wondering, since there are some events upcoming in April that folks from different teams are traveling to, is there anything more that folks want to share with community about the Codex event or the Earth Commons at Funding the Commons event that we didn't otherwise share? In case people in particular live in those areas, I know Funding the Commons / Earth Commons is happening in San Francisco, and Howard, you're only a couple hours north from there, so it might be a good opportunity for folks to understand what's going to happen there and if they can come plug in. And I have a spare ticket to that event should someone want to use it, that I bought because I'm not going to be able to come, unfortunately.
Well, so I can speak to, I'll also be at the Earth Commons funding the Commons, whatever it's called, or seems like everyone's confused about it. And I'll be talking probably about the Jaguar pilot and some other fun things, and excited to meet up with folks. I think I'll also be on a couple panels. So if folks are around, definitely ping me. I'd love to meet up. And then this didn't make it up into the slideshow, but it's also worth just announcing we're going to be hosting a Regen salon with some investors and philanthropists on April 12th. Yeah, they're in San Francisco. So in between the Stanford Codex and the Funding the Commons events, which both Austin and I will be at. So yeah, excited about that.
And the only thing to add is that there's another round of Ma Earth interviews and discussions being picked up, which Regen's been actively contributing in for a long time. So it's cool to see those evolve and those conversations mature in various ways. So that's exciting too. It's a fun intersection.
Awesome. Well, my one request just from a process standpoint is to make sure we get any events that are public into the community calendar so folks know where to find you all. Again, I have a free ticket to Funding the Commons should anyone want to claim it. If you are a community member, want to go. And yeah, looking forward to seeing what comes out of the opportunity for you all to be in person in the Bay Area very soon. Any other outstanding items, general gratitudes, or virtual high fives people want to give to each other before we depart?
I definitely shared just a gratitude and a virtual high five for the breadth and awesomeness of all of the shares. It's really exciting to hear from Moth DAO, and hear from the foundation team, and hear from the registry team, and hear from R&D, and hear from the Token Econ working group, Token Econ DAO. Just, it's really exciting. Lots is moving, lots of progress, and lots of coordination and synergy. So it's just feels like, 2024 is really getting off to a rip-roaring start. So it's really exciting.
Yeah, and I'll just add a side note to that. Thanks to everyone for leaning in. I also just want to remind folks that our community members, so, Howard, Ed, anybody who's a CSDAO participant or a registry participant, everyone can bring their updates here. Everyone is a network. So if you have updates you want to give about your project within Regen Network that isn't just these standard groups, feel free to reach out, because you should be able to tell your story here too.
I'll voice our gratitude. I'm feeling how much like Moth and others are filling the gaps in the network around Regen, and it's seen and felt and appreciated. I think I particularly notice just a lightness that is so great and important. But that's hard to cultivate, I think, when you're like totally in the weeds. So thank you to Sari and Sarah Bax and William, folks that are showing up in those ways. It's awesome. And I'd also like to give a shout out to like longstanding partners that have been at it for a while with us, like Howard and others. I feel like there's like a shared language of of resilience and loyalty and like durability. And that's really important in kind of a fast moving space to just to have that consistency. So that's also seen and felt.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for attending, and we'll see you next month with a whole new round of updates and work.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Harry.
Thanks,
Ciao,
everybody.
everybody. Thanks,
See you
Bax.
later.